Welcome to ABC 31 News Tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. The city of Pineville brought in the 4th of July yesterday with the 13th annual fireworks over Bulow. ABC 31's Shar Thomas has more in tonight's big story.
I'm here at the 13th annual fireworks over Bulow, and as you can see, they have a live band, food vendors, and much more, and of course, fireworks later.
Pineville residents gathered at Lake Bulow to bring in Independence Day with fireworks and fun activities for children. It is free every year, but this year the city of Pineville used the lake to their full advantage now that the highway constructions.
Well, it's different in that we finally have the full use of Bulow Lake now that the highway construction's finished completely. You know, we got a 4-lane highway that now fronts Bulow Lake, and it's a beautiful place to do an outdoor concert with the lake as our backdrop, and that's where the fireworks will be shot from tonight.
Independence Day is also referred to as the 4th of July or July 4th. It is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence 241 years ago on July 4th, 1776.
Well, it's great because any time of the year that you have an opportunity to remember, you know, that freedom isn't free, and to respect those that paid the price so that we could enjoy great music, great fireworks, but most of all have a family-friendly event. That's what it's all about.
Shar Thomas, ABC 31 News.
And on this Independence Day, millions are celebrating with the traditional parades, fireworks, and even a hot dog eating contest. Elizabeth Hur is in New York with a look at some of the celebrations all around the nation.
The 4th festivities kicking off in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
It's always like different every year, and it's so colorful.
Hosting the nation's first Independence Day parade right at midnight for 42 years and counting.
Welcome everybody to Cleveland on the lake.
At daybreak in Cleveland and from coast to coast, the birthday party for America picking up steam with more festivities and food, even in outer space. Astronaut Peggy Whitson sharing this cool video, tweeting, "Happy birthday, USA."
3, 2, 1, and time is up!
And while you might not be too familiar with this annual burger eating contest in Washington, D.C., surely you've heard of this hot dog eating contest on New York's Coney Island.
101st running of the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Contest,
where the returning champ Joey Jaws Chestnut set a new record by downing 72 hot dogs. And in the women's competition, Nikki Sudo came out on top with 41 hot dogs in 10 minutes. The day of celebrations capping off with what else but fireworks. New York City expected to attract more than 1 million spectators at this year's Macy's 4th of July Spectacular.
And with so many people out and about, police from New York to Los Angeles say they are prepared to make sure everyone enjoys a safe holiday. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
And with how your 4th of July night is going to look, here's meteorologist Ross Whitley.
Well, hey, happy birthday, America, and happy 4th to everyone out there. And temperatures right around seasonable average, 93 degrees today, 73 degrees overnight. It's right where we should be, but add in the dew points and it feels like 104, 105 out there. So I hope you have stayed hydrated as you spent your outdoor activities. And even going into this evening, the heat is going to be the story as we go throughout not only tonight, but through the rest of the week as well. Those heat index values are going to continue to stay high. We'll talk more about this and rain chances return to the forecast coming up just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Ross. Looking for more things to keep the kids busy this summer? The Alexandria Museum of Art will be hosting different half-day camps starting on July 10th.
July 10th, we'll have a different instructor each week, and we will have from 9 to noon is 6 to 9 year olds, and from 1 to 4 will be ages 10 and up. So 2 different age groups.
The camps will be held Monday through Friday each week for 3 weeks, and at the end of the week, there will also be a small display so parents can see their children's artwork. The Cenla Chamber of Commerce will be hosting a legislative appreciation lunch on July 10th.
Give us a call at the Chamber or go online if you'd like to sign up. There's some sponsorships available or buying a ticket. And come and you'll get to ask all of the Central Louisiana delegation questions.
And for more information, you can visit the Chamber website at cenlachamber.org. Farmers wage a never-ending battle with many types of weeds. To help farmers get the upper hand, weed scientists are developing strategies to combat herbicide-resistant weeds, including the use of the herbicide dicamba. But farmers must be careful when using this technology. LSU Ag Center correspondent Craig Gautreaux has the story.
Palmer amaranth and Johnson grass are two major weed pests showing resistance to glyphosate, one of the most commonly used herbicides. Now crops are being introduced that are resistant to herbicides with the active ingredient dicamba, giving farmers another tool to fight weeds.
Dicamba's been around a while as a herbicide. However, this is the first time when we've been able to extensively use it in cropping systems due to the trait being inserted in the crop.
Miller emphasized that farmers must be responsible when applying dicamba. Problems with dicamba applications have caused it to be banned in Arkansas because of damage to other crops.
There are a lot of crops that are sensitive to the hormone-type herbicide like dicamba. So there are going to be issues if we misuse or misapply the technology.
Regardless of what herbicides farmers use, they must still follow good weed management practices, including not allowing weeds to get too well established before spraying.
It's not going to be something that we can allow weeds to get knee-high. We can't use it as a salvage herbicide. We're still going to have to make timely applications to small, actively growing weeds, preferably before they get 3 inches in height.
Researchers at the LSU Ag Center Northeast Research Station are looking at the effect cover crops have on improving soil health and how cover crops can benefit specific crops.
Without the soil, we can't grow crops. So everything they can do to increase soil productivity, farmers are willing to look at.
Some of the cover crops researchers are examining include tillage radishes, cereal rye, and crimson clover. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
Louisiana has seen an increase in the confirmed number of locations of herbicide-resistant weeds, but the problem has not been as severe as in some other southeastern states. Still ahead, North Korea has made another advance in its missile program. Details when we come back. As America celebrates the 4th of July, North Korea is celebrating something the world considers a dangerous development. North Korean state TV broadcast pictures of an intercontinental ballistic missile launching and Kim Jong-un congratulating his men. The announcer claimed that the weapon is capable of reaching Alaska.
The fact is, this is the first time, if the analysis is correct, that we're seeing a North Korean weapon that can hit the United States. Not the mainland, but Alaska is very much part of the United States, and this is a very worrying development.
President Trump responded to the launch by tweeting, "Does this guy have anything better to do with his life?" Going on to suggest China could perhaps take action and, quote, "end this nonsense once and for all." Chinese President Xi and Russian President Putin met today and released a joint statement in response to the launch. They're proposing that North Korea declare a moratorium on nuclear missile tests, while the U.S. and South Korea hold off on large-scale military exercises. In the Iraqi city of Mosul, ISIS is near defeat. There are still pockets of fighting and suicide bombers, but U.S.-backed Iraqi forces have nearly reclaimed the city. Ian Pennell is in Mosul with the story.
After a grueling 8 months, ISIS is finally on the brink of defeat here. This is Iraq's second city, and it's been the center of power for the militants for 3 long years. Today they control less than a square mile of Mosul, and that's where the fighting is still intense. There's been untold sacrifice on all sides here. Thousands have died, many more injured. For those who've just escaped, there's relief. The boy shouted at us, "We're free from ISIS." But don't forget what they've suffered and lost. Mariam says, "I'll never go back home. It's all destroyed. And I'll never forget what ISIS did." For many, this was the first food, the first clean water they've had in months. But many are sick. In a kebab store that's become a clinic, we saw a tiny baby girl lying on a grill. Meet Rama, one of the youngest victims of ISIS, emaciated and dehydrated.
You can just see, I mean, the little girl, poor little thing, she's dehydrated, she's malnourished. I've been told that the mothers can't breastfeed because they haven't had enough food, there's been no clean water.
Her dad says ISIS took everything. They had the food, the medicine, the water. They left us with nothing. This siege may be ending, but no one will forgive or forget what happened here. Ian Pannell, ABC News, Mosul.
29 wildfires are burning in the U.S. right now, nearly all of them in the west from Arizona to Washington state. Triple-digit temperatures and fire watches are expected to continue this 4th of July holiday week. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest.
What started as 4th of July fireworks in Arizona quickly turning dangerous, sparking a wildfire. It starts small but quickly grows before firefighters are able to get a handle on it. As the rest of the country prepares for more light shows this evening, some in the West are worried the weather will spark more situations like this one. Hot and dry conditions are combining to create an elevated fire danger, prompting fireworks cancellations in 3 Colorado communities.
Oh my God.
Nearly 30 wildfires are burning across the United States right now. In Nevada, officials are battling 2 major fires that in total have burned more than 30,000 acres, both shutting down a major interstate due to heavy smoke, leading to poor visibility and resulting in evacuation orders. One fire leaving hundreds without power. Heat, dry lightning, and low humidity are part of the reasons for that elevated fire danger. Triple-digit temperatures are forecast until Thursday from Arizona to Idaho. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, definitely a heat wave out there with some dangerous conditions. Of course, big difference, humidity.
Yeah, we got plenty of moisture in the air here, and that is what's adding to our heat as opposed to out west where they're dealing with the dry heat. Here, it's a very moist heat, so temperatures out there for today in the low 90s all across the state, but it felt like 104, even 105 in some places. We're going to continue to watch that as we go throughout the rest of the week. Details coming up next. I'm meteorologist Ross Woodley. Satellite and radar up, and there's even a few thunder showers just off to our north. Here locally, not dealing with anything. A couple storms down in Lafayette down to our south, but here just a couple clouds. One isolated thunderstorm just popping up to the north, just south of Natchitoches. We'll continue to watch that move off to the north and east as we go throughout the rest of the evening. One thing to note, though, these little bit of storms, little tiny storms are producing a lot of lightning. Count out there around 200 strikes, and this is just in the last 30 minutes. So if there is a storm that pops up, might get a little bit of nature's fireworks as we go throughout the rest of the evening with some lightning strikes out there. Currently 89 degrees, but it's not the temperature, it's the dew point that you're really feeling. 76 for the dew point, taking 89 and making it feel like 101. And if you think we're alone, look at the rest of the state. We're not. It feels like 101 here. Natchitoches at 102, Leesville at 100. And this is going to continue as we go throughout the rest of the week. We're even going to see temperatures increase a little bit. So that's going to make our feels like temperature out there even worse. Overnight tonight, we're only going to drop down to around our dew point, about 75 degrees. There's about a 20% chance that you'll see an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but I think most of us will stay dry. As we go forward through the rest of the week, the heat index values continue to be the story. So if you're outside, make sure you're drinking plenty of water and you're taking breaks. Don't spend an extended amount of time in the sun because it doesn't take much when it's 105, or at least it feels like 105, for your body to be exhausted. We do see some thunderstorm chances increasing as we get later in the week with storms in the afternoon, and then going into the weekend we'll have a better chance of rain. Our surface map for tomorrow, plenty of moisture coming up from the Gulf once again. Just off to our north, pretty similar to where we are today, you'll see the northern part of the state seeing showers and thunderstorms pop up once again. But you notice there is a kind of a dry line here going through Oklahoma. We'll see if that can make it all the way down to us. I'm going to go ahead and bet and say that it's probably not. So kind of just get used to the humidity as we go throughout the rest of the week. Forecast lows in the immediate area around 74, 75 degrees. We're looking at our forecast highs tomorrow. Once again, around 91, 92 degrees. But check out these heat index values as we get into the afternoon. It's going to feel like 104 in Colfax, Walters, and 102 just about everywhere else. So it will be hot tomorrow, even as we go throughout the rest of the week. We're not going to lose those heat index values. Do gain some thunderstorm chances Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as we go forward. But you see the temperatures going from 91 up to 94 next Monday, and the humidity staying with us. That's a look at your 7-day and your weather. Scott?
All right, thank you, Ross. As we celebrate Independence Day today, a few reminders to keep you and your loved ones safe. With more, here's Emily Rao.
Fireworks, food, and family and friends. For many, it's what makes the 4th of July great. But this holiday isn't without its hazards. Fortunately, though, there are a few simple steps you can take to make sure this 4th doesn't end up at the hospital or worse. First, fireworks. They're pretty to watch, but things can get ugly if you try to do it yourself. In fact, the Consumer Product Safety Commission notes that around 7,600 fireworks-related injuries were seen in the ER last year between mid-June and mid-July. So leave the show to the pros. Next, foodborne illness. We all love a good cookout, but the USDA warns that 1 in 6 Americans suffers a foodborne illness each year. And cases can spike in the summer months, with more of us enjoying picnics and grilling. So practice good outdoor cooking hygiene and cook those burgers through. And last but not least, staying safe on the road. Government figures show July the 4th is one of the deadliest days on U.S. roadways. So please buckle up. And if you've been drinking, even a little bit, you shouldn't be driving. Quick tips to make sure your Independence Day is as safe as it is brilliant. With this Medical Minute, I'm Emily Rao.
Coming up, the summer is upon us, and details on the latest LSUA athletic camp have been released. Plus, Joey Chestnut returned to the hot dog eating contest to defend his title. Nick has details coming up in sports.
Good evening, Alexandria. I'm Nick Frank. I hope you're having a safe and fun 4th of July. Now, with the turn of that calendar to July, the meat of the summer, well, it's upon us. And summer typically brings two things: heat and camps. The LSUA women's soccer team will be offering a preseason camp open to all high school girls players who want to test their skills against the Generals. The camp will be held on Saturday, August 5th at Generals Field and will consist of games, both small-sided and full-sided, with the Generals teams and individual coaching. The cost is $75, and you can register on the Generals Athletic website. In the NBA, one of the prize free agents this offseason was Butler alum Gordon Hayward. Today, well, he kind of laid the mystery to rest. It's been hinted at that he will be signing with the Boston Celtics over the team that drafted him, the Utah Jazz and the Miami Heat. In Boston, he would reunite with college coach Brad Stevens. Hayward made his first All-Star appearance last year and led Utah to its first playoff appearance since 2012. Now, here are some other big-name signings from last night and today. The Warriors were able to retain Finals MVP Kevin Durant for 2 years at $53 million. Darren Collison on the move to Indianapolis for a cool $20 million. George Hill will be going to Sacramento, where he will be joined by Zach Randolph. Day 2 of the Wimbledon Championships are underway in London. Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic got their tournaments underway this afternoon and both cruised to the next round after both of their opponents withdrew in the second set due to pre-sustained injuries. The American men also had a solid day on the courts, as 4 of the 6 that had matches today all moved on, while 7 of 10 American women playing today moved on as well. Tiger Woods kind of back in the news. He claimed that he has completed an intensive treatment program. Woods made the announcement on his official Twitter account and said that he will continue to tackle this ongoing forward with his family, doctors, and friends. This comes a little over a month after he was arrested on DUI charges. Cops found Woods asleep and disoriented in his car on a Florida highway, a condition he said was caused by an unexpected reaction to medication. Woods is due in court for his arraignment on August 9th. Now, it just wouldn't be the 4th of July without the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, where the world's hungriest men and women try to devour as many hot dogs as they can in a span of 10 minutes in hopes of claiming that coveted mustard yellow belt. Now, the men's field was loaded this year, but the favorite, as always, was good old Joey Chestnut. And the little man with the big stomach did not disappoint, snarfing down a record 72 hot dogs to claim his 10th career mustard yellow belt title. Chestnut, well, Scott, he'll now be mentioned along the greats. Bill Russell's 11 NBA titles, Yogi Berra's 10 World Series rings, Rafael Nadal's 10 French Opens. On the women's side, Mika Sudo claimed her 4th title after polishing out 41 hot dogs. I think I can eat maybe 2.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes, I'll say I could do 5. But
that's
I think that's
good.
still pushing it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 2, loaded with diced tomatoes, some pickles, sport peppers, little celery salt.
Yeah, I'm not shoving those down. I'm actually going to enjoy them if I'm going to do it.
Absolutely.
I saw something, he consumed about 20,000 calories in that 10 minutes. Over 20,000 calories in that 10 minutes.
So that's what, like running a
needs
marathon for the next 3 days?
Yeah, he probably will need to do that.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at some very artistic coffee when we come back. A South Korean barista is gaining popularity online for his coffee artistry. Check this out. He's making miniature recreations of some famous arts on the top of cups of coffee. Lee Kang-bin's passion began when he was 17 and first learned to make coffee. He started making coffee art, or cream art coffee, at 21. He now has over 160,000 followers on Instagram and teaches classes in Seoul. By the way, one of these coffees will set you back just under $9.
I don't think that's a quick run in, grab a cup of Joe and leave.
No, you're probably going to be waiting a little while, but
Yeah.
you know, check this out. This is amazing work, and
it is.
You know, it's pretty cool if that's what you're starting your day off with.
I'm not taking anything away from him because it's really cool, but did he start making coffee at 17? I mean, I think I made my first cup of coffee probably for my parents like age 12. I mean,
and now his are a lot more pretty than yours.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't do that.
Are you charging $9 a cup?
No, I can't do that. I can't even draw that on a piece of paper.
Right. Now
that's why he's getting $9 a cup.
Hey, well, whatever. To each their own.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching ABC 31 News. Have a happy 4th of July and a great rest of your night.